Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening. How is the day moving? I believe you've been having a nice time with us at Boss Radio 98.9 FM Owerri. We'll be giving you everything you need to know. As I always said, we actually stand for these three cardinal ingredients when it comes to broadcasting: to educate you, to inform you, and to entertain you. And these are the things we don't really joke with as an urban and first class broadcast industry. And we may be wondering why this particular person is still talking at this time. Well, let me introduce myself properly. My name is Osaze Jogu, and we have an interesting program that we are bringing to your doorstep this evening. It's going to be 1 hour program, a very interactive for that nature, and we'll be discussing the state of the nation. That is the topic we are talking about. The state of the nation as concerned the Nigeria Labour Congress president arrest in Imo State today. We all know what had happened. We saw what happened. Everyone is talking about it. And in case you join us, this is Boss Radio 98.9 FM Owerri, and we are looking at the arrest of the Nigerian Labour Congress president Joe Ajaero today in Owerri. Well, I would love you to listen to an insight of drama that really occurred, during his arrest. When we come back, we will get into the details of what we have for you.
FMC is good.
Yes, I know
FMC.
Yeah. I know FMC.
It's better. We'll go to the FMC.
I'll look forward. Today I will meet the wife of my cousin.
Okay.
I think it's one of the.
This is serious.
So that was. Now say, if you say extend interim order, I think interim order elapsed with time. If they had issued a fresh interim order, it's a different thing.
Yes.
You understand? I say, see what we are reading now. You don't read this into where some of us are. They don't extend interim order. If it expires within 1 week or two, you should have issued another order.
Yes.
So they kept that letter. They kept that thing they posted to them.
Okay.
That they say, whether do I know that I should this thing they can prosecute me about? I say, well, it is the same court that granted this order that can institute a contempt charge.
Yes.
You can't just now start prosecuting me. My brother.
They were beating you.
They beat me. God must have taken extra time to create me. Ordinarily, kind of beating.
You received. Okay. At this jet age.
I don't know the word where this is.
Okay. We don't have his number.
No, I don't have any number.
It's
just to ask for a nurse woman.
Yeah, I believe that you listened to that insight, okay, and we actually starting the program officially right now. Let's go into the details. Well, before I said more things concerning the arrest of the Nigerian Labour Congress president Joe Ajaero, I have two gentlemen in the studio here to do justice, to so many questions that have already arose from the drama that happened today in Owerri. I have Barrister Gozie Nwachukwu, who happens to be the Director of Administration of the People's Democratic Party 2023 campaign. Good evening, sir. Welcome to Boss Radio.
Good evening.
All right, I have another guest in the studio. His name is Chukwu Dimobi Ifeanyi Chukwu, Director of New Media. Good evening. Welcome to Boss Radio.
Good evening.
All right, we're here to discuss the Nigerian Labour Congress issue and as it affects Imo State, the arrest of the NLC president. Well, I really want to inform the listener, for those of them who are not really aware of what really happened today in Owerri. Joe Ajaero happens to be the Nigerian Labour Congress president, was picked up from the NLC State Council Secretariat by heavily armed policemen in Owerri and taken to an unknown destination. Okay, this was actually revealed by the head media of the Nigerian Labour Congress headquarters, Benson Opa, who actually revealed this. And according to information available to me, that NLC, leading the statewide protest and striking over what it described as lack of respect for workers, unpaid salaries, and pensions, among others. Well, according to information, the Labour leader was arrested at the secretariat of NLC in Imo State while he was about to lead an Occupy Imo protest, which was slated for today. Now, when the incident actually happened, people actually kept asking questions: where would where was it actually taken to, and rest of them. First, the Nigerian police spokesman in Owerri, Imo State, Henry Okoye, actually denied having any knowledge of information about that. But about 2 to 3, about 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes later, he actually returned back and said, okay, that Ajaero was in protective custody, of the police protective custody. That was the word he used. In a statement released by the command spokesperson, I'm quoting words by words, Henry Okoye, who said, in the course of their labor's planning, it was reported, I'm quoting Henry Okoye now, that suggestions arose for the lockdown of some essential facilities, particularly the airport, which led to some workers and other individuals resisting the picketing process, leading to scuffles and heated arguments, and eventual attack on the person of the president by a mob. Upon receiving this report, the Imo State Police Command swiftly deployed police operatives to the scene, where the officer in charge exercised his operational discretion by taking the Nigerian Labour Congress president, Joe Ajaero, into protective custody at the state command headquarters to ensure the protection of Joe Ajaero's life and that he was not really lynched in the scuffle that followed. Let me actually stop there. I really want to ask you one big question, Barrister Gozie Nwachukwu. You are the director of administration of the People's Democratic Party 2023 campaign. But let's talk about, how do you see this information released by Henry Okoye with regard to the arrest of Nigerian Labour Congress President Joe Ajaero?
Well, good evening, listeners. I'm just seeing that statement, and I just had you read it out. I'm not reading myself, but from what I could make of it, he is alleging that the labor leaders wanted to picket some state facilities like the airport.
Yep.
I have just one question for Henry Okoye. This arrest or abduction of the NLC president, did it take place at the airport or at the state secretariat of NLC? Because if you make allegations that somebody wants to commit an offense, the person must either, it must have been that you caught the person committing the offense or about to commit the offense or conspiring to. You're saying that a frisk-off ensued by some workers who were resisting them from picketing facilities like the airport, which means that Joe Ajaero should have been at the scene of the picketing where the mob would have attacked him. But that facility belongs to NLC, so there wouldn't be any picketing there. It is the truth of the matter is that the NLC issued a statement where it said, and I quote the General Secretary, Barrister Ubaja, asked about the non-payment of worker salaries in Imo, pensions and other emolument, came to beat up the NLC president and then hauled him away from the place. And that's exactly what happened. So this, I say this release by Henry, the police spokesman, as a smokescreen and a cover-up. It's an afterthought because they've seen the national and even international outcry that this particular brazen criminality and illegality to beat up persons who have committed no crime whatsoever and no mean a person, the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, even in the heydays of the Abacha government, which people felt was a draconian government, this never happened. Even in Mobutu Sese Seko's Zaire, this never happened. Even in Kabuzu Banda's nation, where we know that persons were even killed, how bad can it get? The only thing that can be compared to what has happened in Imo State today is the killing of Delegiwa by a letter bomb. Because this man could have you, if you see him, if you see the photograph of this man, he was beaten to pulp. His two eyes are shot. His two eyes are shot. How can you beat up the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress? Then if they could do this to him, what would they do to ordinary workers? What would they do to ordinary workers? So what the speech, the release issued by the police is just a cover-up. It's just a cover-up. And it's unfortunate that the Nigerian police could be involved in this kind of criminality. You know the state of insecurity in this state. We have called on the federal government severally to come into this place and flush out the bad eggs in the Nigerian police force in Imo State. But they've allowed them to remain here. They just finished the police conference, the security conference in Imo State. I thought that should have, when the top police brass were in Imo, or were just leaving, that should have made them to become very civil. I have another question for the Nigerian police force and the Nigerian government. Are they saying that they are comfortable with this kind of criminality being committed in broad daylight against the Nigerian Labour Congress president, bearing in mind that we are going for elections in the next few days? If the police can beat a man just because he came to enforce the rights of workers, how much more? What will they do to innocent voters who are going to vote against the governor, obviously, on November 11th? I want to call on the federal government of Nigeria. We're no longer safe in this state. In the hands of the police top brass in this state, we're not safe. If the police can issue this kind of statement to defend what happened today, then I can tell you this has become a banana republic.
Okay, let me actually come to you, Chukudimo Bifai Chuku, director of New Media. Do you have more information to share with us, on this particular issue? Barrister Gozenwa Chuku has actually digested on the show this evening.
First of all, I would like to say that I agree with everything that Barrister Jazzy has said, and I think he has said it all. But one thing I will also add is this. It is saddening, it is embarrassing that in this day and age, a state government is brutalizing the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress. This is the umbrella body that represents the welfare and interests of Nigerian workers. And then the president comes to his home state to monitor a protest. The first thing is, why are the people, why is there a protest in the first place? This state government has consistently been at odds with its workers since it came on board. And today, a man who has done a lot for Nigerian workers, a man who is meant to be praised, a man who is meant to be appreciated for his hard work for Nigerian workers, comes to his own state, and what happens? His own governor launches an assault to his employees on this man. It's very, very saddening. I watched a video of a video that came out just this evening showing the face of President Joe Ajaero. I almost shed tears. How can this be happening in our state? It's also evidence of something that I think a lot of people in Nigeria today are not really cognizant of. Imorians have suffered too much under this administration. This is what we face for asking for good governance. This is what we face for asking our state government to do what it's meant to do. To keep up to we asked our state governor to keep up to his promises to provide jobs for our people, to alleviate poverty, to provide employment. And just because people want to exercise their fundamental human rights, you unleash apparatus of state on them. You assault the very man who is the beacon of the Nigerian worker in his home state. It's gravely saddening.
Okay, Chukwudimobi, fine. Thanks so much for that information. Let me remind you that we are very much live and active on Facebook at Boss Radio 98.9 FM or whatever, because this is an interactive session. Honestly, the program is interactive one. So drop your comment or your questions on our Facebook page at Boss Radio 98.9 FM or wherever. You can get our app, download it on your various mobile stores to see us live here, listen to us live wherever you are around the world. You can also check us up on our website, boss989fm.com. You can make use of our WhatsApp channel. 0806 9992 999 is the number. 0806 9992 999. We will tell you the numbers to call to have meaningful conversation with us via telephone lines as the show actually progresses. Now, I really want to come to you once again, Barrister Gozie Nwachukwu. First of all, I want to ask you this question, and I need an honest answer. Do we have two factions in Imo State when it comes to the Nigerian Labour Congress Imo chapter? Do we have two factions? I know what I'm asking you. Do you have two factions or just the one parallel leadership?
Well, what has happened in Imo State, in the Nigerian Labour Congress leadership in Imo State, is that the present government in Imo State,
okay,
in an attempt to unduly control and influence the workers' ability to resist their draconian policies, decided to balkanize the union and try to set up a parallel group. But of course, the workers resisted them.
Okay.
Because if you remember, sometime in the past, in the present, just not near past, there was the NLC held protests in Imo State. Some individuals also came up then and tried to say, oh, NLC had not done this, had not done that. But the protest still held. Because labor is the responsible union. They have a channel, they have laws guiding them, they have rules. So there is no parallel union of NLC or TUC in Imo State. What you have is a Hope Uzodinma orchestrated NLC faction, which is neither here nor there, because they are not recognized by the national body. Because what gives you legitimacy is recognition by the national body, and they are not. So there is only one union of the Nigerian Labour Congress recognized by law, legality, and recognition by the national body in Imo State.
Okay, I asked you that question because prior to today's arrest of Joe Ajaero, a session, if I choose that, of the Nigerian Labour Congress came out to distance themselves from the slated protest in Imo State. They distanced themselves, said the Imo State chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress will not be part of it. That's why I actually decided to put out that question to you. But thank you for the clarity, to the question I asked you. Now, Chukwudimobi, I want to actually ask you this question. We all know that before today, there was a court injunction from the industrial court that actually said they planned a protest by Nigerian Labour Congress today should not hold. So can you actually shed more light on that? And the industrial court gave a interlocutory injunction preventing the protest from holding today. So I don't want to preempt what the government did or what the police did, but can you actually shed more light on that in the National Industrial Court? Because I believe there was judgment from that particular court stopping NLC from going ahead with that protest today.
On what grounds? That's the first question you need to ask. On what grounds? Also, I believe that the president of the NLC is a law-abiding citizen.
Okay.
And when the protest was organized today, when he came to the protest ground, he came to just monitor what was going on.
Okay.
He came to understand or to see, because he got reports that thugs were attacking some of the protesters. So he came there to monitor what was going on. And speaking on the judgment itself, here's what I would say. The order against the protest, I didn't see the order. I don't have a copy of it.
Okay.
But I feel that before the NLC leadership will embark on a protest, since they are is a law-abiding organization, I don't think that order is explicitly restricting them from carrying out the protest. I don't think so. And also, it's not a crime. It's not a crime to hold a protest. It's not a crime to hold a protest. And I don't think a state government has the right to stop the Labour Congress from organized action. If the state government has performed well in terms of taking care of the workers, paying their salaries, I don't think there will be any need for a protest in the first place. So instead of fighting, sponsoring people to attack the leadership of the NLC, I think the onus is on the state government to focus more on delivering on the dividends of democracy, on making sure that the welfare of workers in Imo State is something that should be an envy for the rest of the states in the country.
Yeah,
so that's what I feel.
Hold it. I have the copy, and I want to read out the judgment to you. National Industrial Court in Owerri issued an extended interim injunction restraining the organized labor from embarking on strike in Imo State. Okay, the both Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress were also ordered not to embark on Occupy Imo as planned until the next adjourned date. The court warned against the disobedience of its orders, saying that it would attract consequences. Who gave this judgment? Justice NCS Oguanya gave the orders after hearing the submissions of the Attorney General of Imo State, Barrister COC Akaolisa, who actually prayed the court to grant an extended interim order against the defendants, giving their fresh threat to embark on strike through Occupy Imo. You see what I'm talking about? So, would you actually attribute what happened today to the disobedience of the court order?
Well, first of all, you could see the term that was used in that order. The Imo State Attorney General applied for an extended. What happened was that they got an ex parte order.
Okay.
Ex parte orders are court orders that are given in matters where the other party were not present in court.
Yep.
This court had given an order which had expired. NLC now came up and they are saying that this order was given extending the earlier interim order.
Okay.
There are questions you should ask. One of those questions are, this order, was it served on the NLC? Because the NLC, as a responsible organization, I can bet you that if this order was properly served on the Nigerian Labour Congress leadership, they will not proceed. And secondly, I want to even ask one question. The order that is, what if it is as you asked me whether what happened today was as a consequence of a disobedience of a court order. And I want to also ask a question again. If the order of Justice Ogbonnaya of the Industrial Court is disobeyed, Justice Ogbonnaya of the Industrial Court, I suspect is the one in Owerri.
Yes, in Owerri here.
Is it Chinasa Waneri, the special advisor to the governor on special duties? Is he the one to enforce the order of the Nigerian Industrial Court?
No, he's not.
And also, do you also know that in supposed enforcement, or you can supposedly be effecting a lawful assignment and you become unlawful and actionable? Because if you went to arrest supposedly the labor leaders for obedience of a court order, number one, there would have been a contempt proceedings. They should have been found guilty of contempt. Can the Nigerian police produce any Form 48 and 49 that was filed in any court showing that these people had disobeyed any court order? Did that same judge make any order saying that these people should be stopped for, or should be brought to him for disobeying him? And also in trying to arrest him, did that order also tell them to beat him up and shut his 2 eyes and injure him and make sure he bleeds? I didn't read it in that order of the industrial court. As I speak to you, whoever, as the NLC has alleged in their press release, that participated in this illegality today, if it is insane crimes, by tomorrow morning they should be charged to court for assault occasioning grievous harm. But will they be charged? Is it the first time that special advisor on special duty is assaulting people? He assaulted former governor Lotus Okorocha and went free.
Let me come here. What proof do you have that he was actually responsible for what happened?
Go and look at this press statement by the NLC. They mentioned 3 names. I'm only being economic to just mention one name. And I've just mentioned that name because it has become a recurrent decimal. That's a name that has become synonymous with everything that is bad, everything that is illegal. Anytime this government wants to commit any illegality, that name will be associated with it. The NLC didn't. I said the statement issued by Barrister Obajam putting him, his name was written in black and white, that he actually led the team. He now leads police officers. He now leads men in police uniform to go and commit crimes.
Very sad.
He is not the one who orders police people. This incident of complaints of the vandalization of campaign materials of opposition political parties in Imo State, his name is also mentioned there. And that thing is an illegality, especially for our party, the PDP, who have paid. When you go to IMSA, when you ask the staffs of IMSA, the young boys that go out on these operations, they will tell you somebody called them. It's the same name you will begin to hear. My question is, how long will the federal government of Nigeria, that is in charge of the Nigerian police, allow the police leadership in Imo State to bring them to disrepute? Is it not high time? Is it not high time they begin to sanitize, especially now that the IG and his team came here? Or are we now being told that the IG on his team emboldened the police in Imo to go about brutalizing innocent citizens? I think the police has a lot of answers, a lot of questions to answer.
Okay, you are still listening to Boss Radio 98.9 FM Owerri. Let me remind you, we are very much live and active, of course, always on Facebook at Boss Radio 98.9 FM Owerri. Like our page and drop your comment. If you love what we do, as you claim, it's not by having it on your lips. If you love what you do, as you claim, make sure you like our page, Boss Radio 98.9 FM Owerri, and drop your comment. You can download our app on your various mobile stores to launch, to see us live and see what we are doing here in the studio. Listen to us live wherever you are around the world. You can log on to www.boss989fm.com as well, and you can drop your comment on our WhatsApp portal 0806 9992 999 0806 9992 999. We will tell you the lines to call in a jiffy. Many of you have been calling the calls have been coming in their thousands. Just calm down, write your questions down, write your contributions down, so that when you have the floor to call, you will go straight to the point and make your analysis very, very bold and well articulated. I am, of course, Osaze Ejogo, and I have the two gentlemen in the studio who have been discussing issues, with regard to the arrest of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Ajaero, who actually got arrested and beaten up today in Imo State. I have a Barrister Gozie Nwachukwu, Director of Administration of the PDP 2023 campaign. PDP is People's Democratic Party. And I have another person, his name is Chukwu B. Chukwu, Director of New Media. Okay, I think in less than 2 minutes, if you were actually shaking your head and murmuring your lips before I kind of after I asked Barrister Gozie the question. It's like you wanted to say something or chip in something in addition to what he said.
Well, it's just a very brief contribution. You see, to clear the dust on this matter, I think in the interest of, in the interest of the people of Imo State and for transparency purposes,
Okay.
I think the Inspector General of Police needs to set up a special panel to look into the events that occurred today, because the Labour Party released a statement mentioning 3 individuals that are currently in the employ of the Imo State government. More or less, they are representatives of the Imo State government.
Okay.
And this statement by the NLC, which was signed by Benson Okpa, explicitly stated that the president was assaulted by thugs led by these 3 individuals. So I think for to clear the doubts, to clear the air, because the police is saying that they rescued the president from thugs.
Yes.
I think it would be a novel idea for the Inspector General of Police to set up a special panel to look into the events that happened today.
Okay, in as much you want the police to set up a special panel, according to your words, do
For
you
the Inspector General of Police.
Okay, Inspector General of Police. Do you
Yes.
do you still believe in transparency? Do you still believe that that panel will be fair? And do you expect anything to come out of that panel?
Oh, of course, I expect
Because this is
something
not
to.
the first time we've seen police setting up a different committees, different panel. At the end of the day, we don't really get to see the conclusion.
This time, when you could talk of a special panel, it doesn't just involve police officers alone.
Okay.
It will also involve lawyers. It will involve, civil society organizations. It will involve. There will be so much. There will be so many eyes on the panel. There are a lot of people from cut across from different areas who will look into the events. Who they will investigate. They will interrogate every individual that has been mentioned. They will dig out the facts. So it will be extremely difficult for anyone to try to sugarcoat anything or try to deceive anyone. So I think that would be that in the interest of the general populace, for fairness. I think that would be good.
All right. Let me remind you that we will go for a snappy break. When we come back, we'll continue with the discussion. On the show this evening, we are discussing the arrest of the Nigerian Labour Congress President Joe Ajaero in Imo State today. Don't touch that dial. Still Boss Radio 98.9 FM Owerri. We will definitely be back. Stay glued.
When the small boys sleep, the boss takes over. Boss Radio 98.9 FM. Radio for the boss mind.
My name na Agba Bola. The ladies, they call me Semper Ronaldo because I dey finish work. When it comes to the game, my fitness na bamba, my skills na fire, my shot dey knock all the corners of the net. My brother, wake up to that. Madam go dey happy with you. Na Nature's Field Adam Desire. Yes Nature's Field Adam Desire. Na be the secret. Since I begin take the product, my body dey rise to the occasion like Rock of Ages. I dey stand firm all through the match, and my wife dey like my swag. Yes you wan be the real man? Go get your own Nature's Field Adam Desire. Anybody fit take the product you fit get Nature's Field Adam Desire for any pharmacy near you. But if you want am as e dey hot, you go call 0807 509 1020 or 0807 189 1904. Nature's Field Adam's Desire go make a wife love you well well.
Imo Steeti, ala mkpụrụ obi mpaghara ndịda ọwụwa anyanwụ. Votu gị bụ olu ị ga-eji mee ọchịchọ maka ọdịnihu ndụ gị n'ala Imo. Votu gị bụ ihe ga-akpụ akara aka ala Imo. Emume ntuliaka maka ọkwa gọvanọ Imo Steeti ga-adị n'abalị 11 ọnwa Novemba afọ 2023. Chetakwa ka ikpudebe ngwa atụm votu gị bụ PVC nso ma dịkwa njikere ịtụ votu. Chetakwa na ọ dị oke mkpa na ị ga-ebinye aka gị nke ọma n'akwụkwọ ntuliaka n'ime ohere emebere maka otu ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị ị chọrọ ịtụnyere votu. Ndị Imo ndị ọma, olu gị bụ ike gị. Matakwa na ọchịchị ọma na-amalite n'aka ndị obodo tụnyere onye ga-eweta ọchịchị ọma votu. Dị njikere ịtụ votu. Ọ bụ ngalaba Yaga Africa na Watching the Vote wetere gị ozi a.
Papa Nkechi, oh yeah, man, teach you small lesson for draft.
Which lesson? You will be Tiboribo. Now you want to teach me lesson?
Oh yeah, take chop now.
See this man. See, I know this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You see,
5,
What did just happen now?
7, 8. Now nature's field eye cap happen oh. That time when you dey beat me anyhow, I been no dey see well. But since my daughter Nkechi buy me nature's field eye cap, my eyes don dey sharp well. Nature's field eye cap dey promote healthy vision. E dey prevent blurry vision. E dey relieve redness and eye wey dey itch. E dey protect eye from damage wey rays of light from computer and phone screens dey cause. Na so e dey protect the eye from various eye disease dem. Nature's field eye cap dey support good vision and clarity for the elderly, people wey dey use eyeglasses, and people wey dey spend much time for computer and phone. Take one tablet every day. E dey available for pharmacies nationwide. Telephone 0807 509 1020, 0807 189 1904.
Owerri! Clear your schedules and get set as Mimi Place proudly presents Iwangunes Sunday with Golden Empire Oba Music. Catch the fun with us this Sunday, the 5th of November 2023 at 4 p.m. to thrill you with lucky dip fun games, exotic dances, MC and JB performances, and so much more to keep you entertained. Mimi Place is located at Floor 5046 All Seasons Avenue, Commercial District G, New Owerri. For inquiries, call 080-350-10005. That is 080-350-10005. Mimi Place, where food and entertainment intertwine. We don't play by the rules. We create them. Boss Radio, 98.9 FM. Owerri.
All right, welcome back to Boss Radio 98.9 February on this evening shows. It's all about the state of the nation, where we're discussing the arrest of Nigerian Labour Congress President Ajaero today in Imo State. Okay, I don't really want to go into that, but let me tell you that we are very much live and active on Facebook at Boss Radio 98.9 FM Owerri. Like our page on Facebook and drop your comment. It is very important that you do so. You can drop your comment or your questions as well on our WhatsApp portal 0806 9992 999. 0806 9992 999 is the number for your WhatsApp messages. Download our app on your various mobile stores to watch us live and see my guests live and listen to what we're saying live wherever you are around the world. You can check us up on our website as well to do the same thing. Boss Radio 98.9 FM. That is boss989fm.com. boss989fm.com. I am still, of course, Osaze Jogu is still my name. It has not changed, and I have two important personalities in the studio here who have been talking a lot, concerning the NLC president arrest and labor issues in Imo State. Barrister Gozie Nwachukwu is here, director of administration of the People's Democratic Party 2023 campaign, alongside Chukwudimo Bifayo Chukwu, the director of New Media. Now, the barrister, let me come to you with the next question. Why we were growing up, personally, when I was growing up, I was actually made to understand that police is your friend. Secondly, that police is a federal agency and they do not really take orders from the state government. But these days, the reverse is the case. I'm telling you what I witnessed. In fact, I've already experienced that. We see police force these days being controlled and hijacked. It means they were hijacked by various state governments. And when you ask them, can you do this? Why not do this? They don't take orders from the state government. They take orders from Abuja. So why do we see this chameleon character in police personalities? Why is it so? Why